Coming back to the orchestrator, in the left hand side under automations, we can find the assets tab. Here, these are few of the assets that I have already saved and used for some other projects. If you want to create a brand new asset, you can go over here, click on the plus mark and create the asset name. Say my cred. Once that is done, there are four types of assets that we can create. Text, which is alphanumeric combination, boolean, which is true or false, integer, which is a number, and credentials. The only different thing when it comes to credentials is it will have a username and a password. So we will have two values that we have to save over here. Let's select text, so you can give a description for a more detailed information about the credentials. Here, if you just enable global value, this particular credential being created will be available to all the robots which are associated with this particular instance of Orchestrator. But if you don't want this global thing to be accessed by every robot, what you can do is you can just overwrite it by creating robot specific credentials. Here I can put it as Raju. So if I just use this particular, if I try to use the credentials from this particular robot, it will take this instead of the global over here. Let's cancel this right now. I have a global value for now, and I just click on create. So I have a credentials with this name. So just copy this. Coming back to the studio, to access that particular credentials, just go back to the activities and use assets. So there are four things available to us over here: get asset, get credential, set asset, and set credential. Get asset is used to obtain the assets from the orchestrator if it's of string, boolean, and int type. Just save this into something, say result, and enter. If I just replace this with result and try to just click on run, because this particular thing is connected to orchestrator, it was able to fetch the credential, the asset basically, and it's Sharath here. Okay, what if we have something called credentials being saved? Just go to this, and you can also create a new one, but because we are using this as an example, okay, it doesn't allow you to change it once you have created. So just go back to this and then create my cred 2. Okay, this time we will try to take the credential. So as you can see, these credentials are stored in orchestrator's database. Here, instead of one field, you are able to see two fields. Just say Raju, and here type something called 1234. Password I have saved is 1234. Just click on create, and this time the credential name is this. But here, this will not be able to fetch that, because this time we are trying to fetch credentials. We have to use this. So just try to copy this particular credentials and put it over here. Just paste it right here with the double quotes surrounding it. Okay, once that is done, you can save them, the password and the credentials and the username, into a variable. As you can see, the type of username is string. The type of this is secure string. So secure string, you will not be able to see it in the message box. So I'm just trying to display it in the user. Okay. Just delete this time and try to run it. And here we have the username available to us. The other two activities that we might consider to explore are set asset and set credentials. In some cases, you might want to just replace the available value in this particular asset, right? So here for my credential asset name, you have Sharad, but you might want to just edit it. For that thing, we have this particular activity available where we have to mention the asset name, which is my cred, and then the value that you want to replace it with. Right now it's Sharad, so I just want to replace it with Raju. Just remove this for now. And okay, to do that, we have to make some changes over here, because right now the robot will not be able to like change that particular asset because it doesn't have the rights to do that. To change it, go to users under management, goes to roles, and here robot, and then edit. Here under the assets, just try to click this so that the robot has the access to edit the assets. Save it. If you're not doing this, you will just find an error saying forbidden code error. Now go back to this, or go back to this particular thing, and just try to execute it. It's executed. Now let's go back to this, and it's Sharad right now. Just refresh it and you will have Raju right now. It's updated. The similar thing you can do it with the get set transaction also. Here also you'll be trying to pass the credential name, which is mycred2 for us, this thing, and you will try to pass the new password or the new username. That was about the assets in UiPath Orchestrator.